house the other day in the hallway. You're singing "Oh Happy Day."
One word prayer. Justice, where are you?
Hi, welcome to Bryant and Baden. Michael Bryant. Today I want to talk about Alex Murdaugh and Becky Hill. And you notice I am wearing all black. I even have black nail polish on. Now, black and red, it's not for the Kansas City Chiefs. I see you're in black and red too. We're not making an NFL football statement. At least I am making a statement about the fact that I think the justice system is dying. You watched yesterday the proceedings where Justice Toll in South Carolina ruled that Alex Murdaugh would not get a new trial. Now, what was the hearing about, Michael? Could you tell us first?
You know, this was the second version of a request for a new trial. The other has already been balled into another appeal, which is pending, because when they found all of this alleged misconduct by Becky Hill, they told the other appeal, said, hold on, let's see what happens with this very specific issue, which has been brought in the form of a motion for a new trial. That was the plan. And then they had to decide, do we have an evidentiary hearing about this or do we not? We have affidavits submitted by both the jurors and by Ms. Hill, both sides arguing. Obviously,
what was the misconduct, though? What was supposed misconduct that brought that there?
A handful of things, but the core was improper contact with jurors, talking to them, suggesting how they might decide the case, how they might view a witness, specifically the defendant, when he took the stand. Don't be swayed by his body language. Don't let him fool you. Don't be confused. So they're very specific allegations that this clerk, who should be as hands-off as anybody other than the judge, that she had this improper contact with jurors and influenced their decision. So you think you're going to get these jurors to come in and say, no, nope. If she did say something, didn't affect me, nope.
That's
and then juror Z comes along.
Right. Let's go back a second. I thought they'd all come in. They'd say, yes, I heard it all. It didn't influence me. Game over. And I've been saying that from day one. But then Juror Z, World War Z. Right,
yes.
Michael?
And so, this juror admits, God bless her, that, yep, she said things and it influenced my decision. Well, you're done then. You're done. That creates a very prima facie case of misconduct by the clerk in talking to a juror to affect the outcome. Because the way I counted up here, I'm no genius, but that makes it 11-1 and a hung jury at the very least. Maybe, who knows? Maybe if she had not been persuaded, she would have persuaded other jurors. Who knows? We don't know. This is not a battle over the evidence presented against Alex Murdaugh. That is not what this is about. And for all the whiners who are saying, oh, well, he's guilty, I don't give a rip, because that's not what this is about. Why don't we just get rid of the jury system? Who needs it?
We're on the way to doing that.
Or maybe just if 1 out of 12 says they're guilty, hey, you're guilty then. What's it matter?
Let's pick somebody who watches law and crime type shows, right? Crime shows, justice shows. All right, so not only that, here's what concerned me. Jersey was very upfront. She said it affected me. She had given an affidavit before this, said she felt pressured by the jurors. Now, she gets on the stand. The judge asks her other questions, specifically direct questions. Did it affect you? Did it affect the verdict? She says yes to the direct question to the judge. Then the judge says that somehow, or intimates somehow, that this juror wanted to enhance inconsistent testimony by submitting a supplemental affidavit, and she's not going to have it. To me, that's terrible, because if the juror was brave enough, and unlike the whiners who say, oh, she must have been paid off by the Murdaugh side, right? Brave enough to come forward, for the judge to intimate that, and for the prosecutor to go after her like she's a liar. I mean, she's the most brave woman, one of the most brave people I've ever met, Michael.
She could have taken the easy way out. She had no motivation to tell the truth. She could have clearly said, yeah, I may have heard something, did not affect my decision. That would have been the easy way out. End of the story. But she didn't do that. And to, besmirch her because she was honest enough to tell the truth as she recalls it and how it affected her vote, and then to discount it as the judge did, it's a sham, and I don't know if it'll be fixed on appeal or not, because the court on appeal is going to rely so heavily on what this judge did and said.
That's right, in terms of the findings. And she also said some other things. She indicated, of course, that somebody went home with, even if I recall, right?
Got a
or at least
ride
in the
home.
hearing.
Got a
ride
ride
home. Another
home.
juror got a ride home.
Your Honor, I don't remember saying anything about that.
And then there was also indication, she said, and she did, judge asked the question, the jury frequently discussed the case during breaks before deliberation, juror Z. Yes.
My memory is a little fuzzy with that.
Also the car ride. And then they discussed the case in break.
There was nothing spoken with a juror at all at Moselle or anywhere else at the courthouse or anywhere.
So you have the car ride, you have the fact they discussed the case in breaks. Justice Toll never went back to ask anybody really about that. Never. I mean, we know now from the other clerk of the court who's been there for 16 years, aside from Becky Hill, who was only elected in 2020.
Yeah, she was a character. Yeah, Rhonda.
But
Miss Rhonda.
Rhonda was great. She was great. But that it appears to me, if I'm judging credibility on this case, that Becky Hill may have prevaricated, not told the truth.
She lied her ass off.
Okay, lied.
That's what she did.
Four-letter word. It's a four-letter word. Lied about giving the juror a ride home, and also. It seems then that other jurors may have lied, if you believe juror Z, about discussing the case. But she didn't go back and ask other jurors, did you discuss the case in break? So what's all that all about?
They obviously had 4 or 5 of those preset questions that I'm sure the parties had haggled over for who knows how long to get them fine-tuned so that there wasn't, some sort of invasion into the jury's thought process, because we know we can't do that. You can't invade the deliberation process. Right. So these questions were somewhat broad and vague, and I'm sure it took a while to hammer them out. But when you learn some of the things you did, you got to circle back. I'll give the judge, I'm going to call her the judge because I don't think she's dealing with justice. I'm not going to call her a justice.
Okay.
What the judge did that I think was appropriate was she originally said, no witnesses. We're going to have these jurors as witnesses. That's it. Because Harpootlian had said, look, well, we got about this, and what about this, and what about these other witnesses? He even wanted the egg lady from across the street. She's right across the street if you want to get her. And that, of course, is the juror that was dismissed because of the alleged issue with the eggs
Becky Hill brought to the court.
Exactly. So, yeah, Becky Hill, what a surprise. Well, Becky is only concerned about justice and making sure it happens the way she wants it to happen. So anyway, that was part of what the judge did that was correct. Once she heard Becky Hill and quizzed her, I mean, she grilled Becky Hill. Then she went to Harpootlian and said, okay, who do you want to bring in? And let's see if that's appropriate. That's when Ms. Rhonda came in, and that's when the alt juror came in, which was also appropriate because this had to do not with things said during deliberations, things said by Becky Hill prior to deliberation.
And the credibility, to reinforce the credibility of juror Z. As a matter of fact, the judge said at one point, you have to start answering those questions to her. And then she started asking the questions. And it turns out that Becky Hill, oh, Michael, I know you're upset about this because I don't know how much you made on your book, but I know how much I made on my books, right?
Yeah. It was not 100,000, I'll tell you that. She
said it wasn't much money after expenses, only about $100,000.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, of all of her lies, that's probably the one she could have gotten away with. If she had said $20,000, there would be no way really to fact check that.
To check it, right.
So I'm guessing it was way more than 100,000. That's what I'll bet.
But she also said Becky Hill told the judge she wasn't talking. She was talking to somebody named Mr. Vale, not the jurors, when she said, "quote Pay attention. It's a big day today. Pay attention." Who the heck is Mr. Vale, right?
Crazy.
And the judge did say she was influenced by what she called the siren call of celebrity, and told her you need to start answering these questions. But the prosecutor then also, I mean, what gets me is the prosecutor, the AG, also enveloped the attack on the alternate witness and the attack on juror Z. I mean, how could you when you clearly may have what could be a crime here?